Welcome back. Still tuned into News and Views with myself, Saley Makwidiri. We're at the back end of the show, and we're going to be turning our attention to a crisis that is unfolding much closer to home in Emfuleni, where years of failing service delivery are pushing communities to the brink. Residents are grappling with uncollected waste, ongoing water disruptions, and just general collapsing infrastructure, and challenges that are not only affecting daily life but also undermining dignity and local economic activity. Because who wants to start a business where there's garbage on every corner of the side of the road? But amid all of this frustration, something else is emerging: a community-led action in areas like Roshnee. Residents are organizing, mobilizing, and stepping up where the state is essentially falling short. And to help us understand both the scale of the crisis at the Emfuleni municipality and the response on the ground, we are joined by Roshnee resident and also the leader of Roshnee Services Crisis Committee, the RSCC, Mr. Zainul Saley, who's joining us via our virtual platform. Mr. Saley, assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah so much for joining us. Welcome to News and Views.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's an honor to be on your show, and I want to greet out to our large Muslim communities, and I want to say thank you for being on the show.
No, the pleasure is all ours, and I think we'll jump right into it. If you can just give us a bit of insight on what the Roshnee Services Crisis Committee is and what kind of work that you guys are doing, especially with the community.
Okay. Roshnee Crisis Committee was formed about 3 years ago. It was a community-oriented initiative that was taken in seeing to the service deliveries and to see to infrastructure, to see to maintenance of the town, to make sure that we have the capabilities of running our town efficiently. So RSCC has come in. We become mediators between the council and the residents. And, so far, our achievements have been quite phenomenal, and we've it's quite successful in how we've been operating.
And I think that's very, very important for our community members and community leaders like yourselves to come together and have organizations like this one. And the issue of service delivery has been a challenge at Emfuleni, and
yes,
I think it's so well televised. Everyone knows about it, but I think it's important to always put it to perspective. What would you say at this moment are some of the main service delivery challenges that the community is facing?
Look, across the board, service delivery has been completely dysfunctional in the Emfuleni area. We're sitting with major electricity cutoffs. We're sitting with water leakages, sewage overspills, roads that are completely disintegrating, potholes all over. And if you look at the whole Vaal is actually contaminated by this. I don't know what we can say. It's maybe something to do with party politics, or is it to do with mismanagement? Is it corruption? What's going on here in Emfuleni? We are not sure at this moment here. But at this moment, the only alternate here is that community has to get involved in making sure that our town and that is kept intact, so that we can go forward with this.
And I think what has been concerning for me is the fact that some of the challenges that you've mentioned, the waste management issue, water supply interruptions, and the crumbling general infrastructure, all of it culminates to impact daily life and hinder economic growth within the community. Can you give us instances or examples of how the economy is being affected, businesses and people's general daily lives are impacted by some of these challenges that you guys are facing and aiming to redress?
Regarding business, and that we can actually see the statistics on business here. How many businesses have closed down? How difficult it has made lives for people. Actually, schools have been affected. The general social life of people has been disrupted. things have been just going on and on and on, and it's become a total disaster. People are living completely with agony. They cannot express their feelings towards what is going on here because of they're not getting feedback from the council on what is the way forward on how to it. I have been to IDP meetings. I've been engaging with municipal managers, with municipal with Emfuleni executives, trying to find solutions in this year, but it was just talk and no action at all.
And we have the local government elections coming up later this year. How important are they? Are they going to be for the community? Are conversations being had within the community on maybe a change in municipality governance and so some of the councillors that you guys have put on and are seemingly failing at their jobs?
Coming to the local elections, I think it's going to be in November sometime this year.
Yes, correct.
But it's the sentiments around this whole local government and the municipality and stuff like that. It's totally the people are completely disorientated with the whole thing. They heart sore about the whole the progress of Emfuleni. And they don't know the next party that does come in here, are they going to be competent or incompetent? We don't know. So I don't think we're going to get the election is going to happen, but are we going to get the votes that is needed to put some party that's going to be able to take Emfuleni across into the next future?
Let's talk about the community itself and how proactive you people have been when it comes to trying to mitigate some of those failures by local government. If you can give us examples of that, what you would consider success stories that have come out from an organization like the RSCC that has prompted the government to stand up and have community-led projects that make a real impact.
Okay, the RSCC, basically, we're looking at a future for Roshnee itself, right? And what we have done is we have engaged with municipal managers and technicians across the whole infrastructure area. So what we did was we engaged and we built up a relationship with the municipal managers and the technicians on a personal basis. So that means what happened is we became actually part of the Emfuleni drive force in working together with municipality to get things going and to make sure that infrastructure is maintained. So in this way, what we did was we people log a call to us. We inform the council. The council, if they don't respond, what we do is we phone on a personal basis. We phone into a technician or to a municipal foreman, and then the foreman takes the matter up, and then we get in a good nick of time, we get our infrastructure or outage or water outage or electricity outage or maybe sewage overspill. We get it done in a nick of time.
There's a story that really sparked, my interest into the work that you guys are doing. We've heard about the fuel crisis when it comes to the trucks, the trucks that come and collect garbage, and the community came together and essentially said, we are going to make sure that there is petrol, there is fuel or diesel for these trucks to come and collect refuse. Can you take us through that story, because I think it's very, very important. It shows a lot of initiative from the community, and I think a lot of communities across South Africa can learn from that example.
Okay, Roshnee is basically a family community, very close-knit, and what we've done here is like about 2 weeks ago, we had a crisis where Emfuleni didn't have diesel to send out the compacted trucks to pick up garbage.
Yes.
So a simple message went out, and within a short period of time, people decided, no, let's, donate some type of funds towards the diesel, and it's so happy that our luck that the diesel did arrive at Emfuleni, and they managed to send out the truck. But it's now 3 weeks.
Mm.
It's 3 weeks now since we've seen any of the compactor. Today is Thursday. Roshnee is scheduled for Thursday to pick up garbage and that. But unfortunately, they haven't pitched up. They sent out the manager yesterday. I phoned up the municipal manager. He says, "Look, they concentrating on the areas that they couldn't do last week and the previous week, so they doing those areas first." But my question here to the municipality is that, they've put out a notice up to say that, they've increased the fleet on their vehicles and stuff like that. And up to today, there's only about 4 operating compacted trucks in the whole of Emfuleni, that's the whole City Bank area.
Mm-hmm.
And this year has become a challenge to residents. Garbage is being spilled all over the towns. There is no pickup. The place looks a mess. Actually, if you look at it, the Vaal has now turned into a garbage dump.
Mm. Mm.
In simple words, let's put it that way, that Emfuleni is now actually a garbage dump. And if you go into, I can say that, Shukr Alhamdulillah, that we've maintained, we've worked a course, we've done working partnership with the community, with residents, trying to dispose of dirt and that in a very respectful manner. And we're trying to keep our town intact and clean. But the rest of Emfuleni is falling apart. The rest of Emfuleni, if you go through the roads in the township, in Vereeniging town itself and the Beilpark town, you actually see the mess throughout the whole town. It's a total mess, total disaster. That there is none of the cleanup happening, and there is no initiative by the public sector, by the business sector, and obviously by the local municipalities. So this year has become a big challenge for us here. At this point of time, we're looking at Emfuleni as a complete dysfunctional entity of local government.
And I think that's where voting comes in, Uncle Zainul. That's when you need to rally up the people of Roshnee and the surrounding areas to go out and vote in the upcoming local elections in November, because that's essentially the only way change can be made. But otherwise, Jazakallah so much for joining us. I think this has been a very, very insightful and very important and powerful reminder that while service delivery may be failing, communities are not standing still. And I think you guys are setting a really, really wonderful example of what everyone else across South Africa who has service delivery issues, which is almost every corner of this country, can be a bit more proactive and try and challenge the municipality and the government as you have. So my hats out to you, and I hope we chat again soon. Salam.
Wa alaikum salam, and Jazakallah to be on your show. A quick one, going to just give a little bit insight to the rest of the communities. I'm talking to the ones in every town. If they can just start these initiatives there, it can curb the infrastructure, the collapse of their areas or wherever they are, and then work together in partnership with the municipal managers and stuff, build a relationship there and make it conducive so that at least you can get your town and keep it intact.
No, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And let it not go to total collapse.
Wonderful example there, Uncle Zainul. Saley, hope we chat again soon. Salam.
Wa alaikum salam.
There you go. And I think a very, very important interview there. The situation in Emfuleni reflects, I think we can all agree, a broader national challenge. But I think with them, what's different is the fact that it highlights the potential of grassroots action. When residents take ownership of their space, they hold municipal managers, they hold councillors and mayors to account. And I think that's a very, very important one to note. And I think all of us can learn a lesson or two from the people of Emfuleni and how they go about their business. But most importantly, let's go out and vote. November, that's when the local government elections are scheduled to be in. And I think more than anything, you can do so much as a community. You can do so much as a group of people. But at the end of the day, the buck does stop with government. It does stop with local government. They're responsible for the infrastructure and they need to be held accountable. And if they're failing, out, in comes the next person. Otherwise, we've come to the end of today's edition of News and Views. Thank you so much for staying with us for the past 2 hours and 18 minutes. I'll be back with you again next week, Tuesday. Otherwise, Inait Wadi will be with you tomorrow for the Juma edition of the show. From myself, Saley Makwidiri, and the rest of the team, it's bye for now. Shap, shap.